Yes. That's the cord. That's the cord. Glad you found it. Okay. So because of that, if you hadn't seen it already, there's an attachment to the email containing this video link. Key of F, and do the same thing. And I'm going to walk through the whole process on the video so you can like double check things. But here we go. Starting with number 1 and working in the C Ionian scale shape because we need to get you playing comfortably all the scale shapes. So I want you to be able to easily play the C major or C Ionian mode without even thinking about it. We want you at that level before we get to adding the D Dorian again, okay? It'll just make things easier in the long run. 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double time. 1, 2, 3, 4. One 60, 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. 200, 1, wait a minute, there we go, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240, 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and apologize, I wanted to bring something up that I just remembered I wanted to do on my website, and if I didn't click on that, I was like, oh, I might forget again. Anyway, number 2, 60 beats per minute, and here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. So I don't have any chords written out. I'm gonna go through them all though. Key of F. So the only thing that's different between the key of F and the key of C, key of F has a B flat. So we got the notes of the key at the top there. Your key signature is here. So that flat symbol is on a B note. So going through the note names on the lines here, it's E, G, B. And then you have that sentence of every good boy does fine to remember the note names. Okay, so the 1, 4, and 5 chords always major, the 2, 3, 6 chords always minor, and then the 7th chord in key is always diminished. So you got your notes up here. So chord number 1, F. Chord number 2 is a minor chord, so it's going to be G minor. Now, easiest way to do that, what a lot of people do is they take this G major chord, take the 3rd, flat that. That is a god-awful chord to hold. It's not fun. So we do a bar chord instead. What you do is you take your F major bar chord, move it up a whole step, and then the middle finger's on the 3rd interval, so take that off. You just flatted it. That's your G minor chord. A is the 3rd note in. 3rd chord is minor, so A minor. 4th chord in, B flat is the root note, B flat major. So this might be a shape you don't know. I don't remember if we've talked about this or not. Basically, this is how I like to do it. Holding B flat with the index finger. Ring finger lays across the D, G, and B strings. So yeah, ring finger's barring across 3 strings there. Okay, chord number 5. 5th note in is C, so C major, you know that one. 6th note in is a D. 6th chord in is a D minor. And the last note we have is E, so that means we're going to have E diminished. So basically you take the F sharp diminished from the key of G, and you move it down a whole step. So you just move it down a half step first, and then a whole step, or another half step, so this way you have a whole. So anyway, F sharp diminished, we flat everything to an F diminished, and then we flat everything again to an E diminished. So, and again, I'm kind of going through this somewhat quick because I don't want to completely give it all away, I want you to think about it somewhat, but all the answers are right here. They are here. So, once again, F, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, E minor, D minor, E diminished. Okay, so what do we do here? So, with the F chord, we can change it to make this a little bit easier. In fact, let's do that. We're going to do this F chord instead. So you're basically taking this and getting rid of those bottom 2 strings. So we're just going to be left with this. So F note on the D string. So 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, 1st fret. Okay, so what's your job? Find the 3rd interval, lower it down to the next note and key for the suspended 2nd counterpart, okay? So there's your root notes. There's your 3rd. So F is the root note, A is the 3rd. So we're taking that A note, dropping it down to the next note and key. What comes before A? Well, you can just look up here. Just what's right before A? G. Open it up. There's your F sus2. All right, let's go back to the F major. Now we're going to go the other way. Same note you just moved. Well, now we're going up to the next note and key, which is G flat. G flat, B flat, B flat. So we raise it up a half step. So put the pinky down. There you go. F sus4. All right, on to the G. Now we have G minor. So where is the minor 3rd, or the flat 3rd? Well, if you remember how the major chord looked, that's your 3rd. Bam! minor third right there. So that's on the G string. You can go through all the notes again to refigure it out, or again, just remember, hey, that's your major chord. In order to make it minor, you take the middle finger off. So that has to be where the third interval is. So as a B flat, what comes before B flat? The A. I know I'm pointing. It looks like I'm pointing at the wrong spot. The screen I'm looking at's right there. It's probably, yeah. Anyway, now it looks like I'm pointing at it on this screen. Anyway, enough of that. So we take the B flat, we lower it down to an A. So we're doing this. Well, we can't retain the bar because we just can't. You're taking this note, dropping it down here. You can put the root note back here on the bass. So that's the chord. Absolute pain in the ass to hold. Hey, you've already done a G suspended second. So G suspended 4 is next because you're taking that B flat, raising it up to the next note in the key, which happens to be C, which gives us this shape again. So you've done that. If you know the shape, just put the sucker in there. That's it. A is the next root note. A minor is the next chord. Okay, so A is the root note. G, G. E. E is the 5. There's the root note again. C, that's our flat third. So we need to lower that to the next note in the key. However, the note that comes before C is B flat. So that makes a problem. Just like that open E minor chord. You took this and then you had to rearrange things to get to that E sus2. Well, same thing here. Alright, now this is the third position. Third position is the Phrygian mode. Phrygian has a very special characteristic. If you look at your PDF explanation sheet, it shows you that the third position is not a suspended second. Why? Well, because when you go up from the A note here, which is the root note, to the very next note in key, you're going up a half step. A half step up from the root note is a flat second, also known as a minor second. If we went from A to B, that would be a whole step. That would be a major second, or just plain old second. But because we have to go up a half step to stay in key, it's a flat second. So A suspended flat second. So what do? We have to rearrange some stuff. We got to get rid of that C note. So we have the notes A, B flat, and E being used. A is the root note, B flat is the flat second, and E is the 5. So one of those notes has got to go on here. So that we just go through it. Like, can you put an A note on the B string and have it be used? Hell no. That's way up here on the 10th fret. Can you put an E note on the B string and have it be used? Sure. There, right on the 5th fret. Certainly can't do a B flat because that's way up here. So, you might be asking, well, what about that high open E? Who cares? We already have an E right here. In fact, you can just bar with your pinky and get another A. So, there we go. So what's missing? All we have is an A, E, A, E, A. That's a big old A5 chord because it's nothing but root and fifth intervals. So, what's missing? B flat. We still need a B flat somewhere. So where can we put that? Are we going to change the open A? No. Why? Because we are keeping the root note in the base of the chord. Alright, what about here? Can we take this E note, one of many that we have? Well, one of 2 E's that we have. But anyway, can we take this E note and move it to a B? No. That would be all the way on the 9th fret. That ain't happening. Or we don't want a B anyway. We want a B flat. So we're going to be on the 8th fret. We can't go up to the 8th fret anyway. So we're leaving that string alone. Alright. Well, on the G string we have an A. Half step up from A. B flat. So we can do it this way, or we can get rid of that bar. We can have the open E string again, or just play that. So what did I do? I took the A minor chord, got rid of the C note by turning it into an E, and then I took the octave of the A note and raised it up a half step so we have our flat second. Okay, now back to the A minor shape. Flat third is still the C note, so that's still the same thing we got to change. Now we're raising it up to the next note and key. So after C, we come to D. So we go here, raise it up a whole step to the D note, and there you go, A sus4. All right, B flat major's next. So root 5, root. That's a shape you absolutely should be recognizing more and more. That's a 5th chord. Root 5, root, or octave of the root. 1, 5, 1. So, process of elimination, that's got to be the 3, which it is. So, D is the 3 of B flat. Now, we got to lower it to the next note and key. So, D goes down to C. So, now we have this. Go ahead and hit that high E string because that's an F note. And F is the 5th interval of B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B flat, C, D, E flat, F. So, now we go back to the B flat major chord. Now, we need to raise it up to the next note and key. We're raising the D up to an E. Well, when you go up a whole step from the 3, we have a special interval. So if you look at your suspended chord explanation sheet, it'll tell you that in the 4th position, we do not have a suspended 4. We can't. Those intervals just don't exist in that position. This is the 4th position. This is the Lydian mode. Lydian has a sharp 4. So B flat, C, D, E flat is the 4th interval. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we have an E, so it's a sharp 4. 1, 2, 3, sharp 4. So, taking this chord shape here, got to take the D note, raise it up to an E. Bit of a stretch, but it's not the worst. B flat suspended sharp 4. Okay, now on to the C chord. We've done this one a couple times already. Did it in the key of C, did it in the key of G. Same thing's going to happen here. So you're going through the chord, there's your root note, there's your 3rd. So we're going to drop that down to the next note and key. So your D or your E becomes a D, and then there's the 3rd interval. There's the 5th interval, root note again. There's another E. Well, we can't have that in there because E is the 3rd interval. We need to get rid of it. So what can we put on the high E string? We go through the notes that we have. Can we put a C on there? No, that would be on the 8th fret. Can we put a D on there? No, that would be on the 10th fret. Well, can we put a G on there? Yes, that would be on the 3rd fret. And there we go. Ugh, God. Try not to bend the A string out too. Jesus. Anyway, sorry, so back to the C chord. Now we're going to make it a suspended 4. So always go back to the 1st chord. Don't change a suspended 2 into a suspended 4. Change the triad chord into the suspended 4. Because if you change the suspended 2nd into the suspended 4th, you got extra steps to take. So you have your triad chord, you make it a sus2. Then you go back to the triad chord and make it a sus4. So anyway, C major chord, root note, there's the 3rd interval, so we raise it up to the next note and key. E goes up to F. Again, all you gotta do is look up here and you see what note comes before or after whatever note you're working with. So, E goes up to F, there's G, there's C, there's another E, so we gotta raise that up. Boom. D, minor. So, recognize that as a 5th chord because it is. So there's the same chord, just those 3 notes. 0, 2, 3 right here. D, A, D. D, A, D. 1, 5, 1. 1, 5, 1. So that's just how the 5th chord looks when you're starting on the D string, okay? So anyway, so 1, 5, 1, those intervals, and then last we have the F here up on the high E string. Well, that's the flat 3rd. So drop it down, right? What comes before F? E does. So open it up to an E. Now, go back to the D minor. You're going to take the same note, F, raise it up to the next note in the key. G comes after F. So just put your pinky down and you're good. Okay, E diminished. Alright. This one's going to be tricky. So, we have to take the flat third and lower it to the next note and key. So, there's your root note, there's your flat 5, root note again, G is the flat third. Okay, this is the same issue you came across when making your E sus2 and E sus flat 2. You can't lower the G string any further. It's already as down as low as it can get. So, what do? You take one of the 3 notes within the chord that you're making and replace the open G string with one of those notes. So, is E playable on that string? No. That would be the 9th fret. That's way too big of a stretch. Alright, so we go to the next thing. What's coming after that? F. Can we put an F on the G string to use it? No, we cannot. That would be on the 10th fret. That's even worse of a stretch. Alright, well now all we have left is a B flat. Can we put a B flat on the G string? Absolutely. That would be the 3rd fret. Okay, so now what do we have? E, B flat, E, B flat. So we have root, flat 5, root, flat 5. We need an F note to give us an E suspended flat 2nd, flat 5. This is the Locrian mode. It has a flat 2nd and a flat 5. 7th position. That happens there. 7th position always has a flat 5 when working with a major key. That's important. When working with a major key, which is what we're doing, 7th position always has a flat 5. Phrygian has a flat 2nd. Locrian also has a flat 2nd. So both of those positions, the 3rd position and this 7th position, flat 2nds. Okay, so we need an F. We're not changing the open E string because we want the root note in the base of the chord. Up to the A string, we have a B flat. Can we change that to an F? That would be on the 8th fret, so I'm going to say no. Now, the next string up, D string, we have an E note on it. Can we change that to an F? Yeah, pretty easy. There you go. And then you're done. Root, flat 5, flat 2nd, octave of the flat 5. That's your chord. Now, back to the E diminished. Again, we go back to the triad chord and change that. We do not take the E sus flat 2, flat 5 and turn that into the next chord. We go back to the E diminished and change that. So this way we have less steps to take. We want to minimize steps as much as possible. So, root, flat 5, root, flat 3rd. The G note, we're raising it up to the next note in key, which is A. There you go. A is a whole step up from G. That's the chord, which is an E suspended 4, flat 5. Bam. So, I know I went through that fairly quick. That was intentional. I want it to be kind of an overview of stuff we've discussed. And I want you to help you get through things faster. Remember, play it, play it, play it. Gotta play it, gotta play it, gotta play it. Yes, using the paper is absolutely helpful. Extremely helpful, especially at this stage of the game, because it's good to write down the notes as you go. But you want to be able to visualize it. You want to learn the fretboard, you have to use the fretboard. Writing it down is not the same thing. Although it is helpful, it's not the best thing. You need to be able to see it on the instrument. You need to be able to use the instrument to get to the new sounds and play those sounds too. Hearing the chords is very important. The more you hear the chord, the more you hear the different types of chords, the more you can commit the sound to memory. And when you start recognizing sounds, you can tell if something is correct or not just by hearing it. You hear it enough times, it starts to sink in. It needs to happen a lot, a whole heck of a lot. So, all the more reason, play it, play it, play it. Don't just write it, play it. Because, you know, what fun is that? No fun just writing it down without hearing it. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you again next week.